Hello, hello. Welcome in to the Addenda series where I will quickly but in detail go through an addendum for your information. So today's addendum is going to be the addendum for reservation of oil, gas, and other minerals. The first thing I want to draw to your attention is that this addendum is only in use for the sellers if they are going to keep all or a portion of their minerals. So minerals would be like, some people they buy land and they're like, man, I hope I strike gold. And what they're talking about is drilling underground and they find oil or anything like that. So those would be your mineral rights. So if there's anything underground that's of value or potentially of value, sometimes the sellers will sell the property, but then they say everything below ground or all the minerals we want to keep the rights for that, but we'll sell the house that the land is sitting on top of. Okay. When you have a situation like that, the contract itself is written in favor of the buyer retaining the minerals. They will receive the minerals and they will convey to the buyer with the sale of the property. But if, in some situations, if the seller says, I will sell this house, but I want to keep all or a portion of my minerals, that is what's discussed here on the addendum. You're only using this if the seller is retaining all or a portion of their minerals. So you only got a couple of things to check here. Number one, is the seller going to retain all of their minerals, or is the seller going to retain a portion? And what is that portion? You're describing it here. And then on this part, you're putting the seller does or does not waive their rights of ingress or egress and of reasonable use of the property, including the surface materials. They're talking about the seller is or is not waiving their right to get onto the land to get access to their minerals or not. So is your seller waiving the right to be able to access those minerals, or are they not waiving the right for them to access some minerals? Those minerals. Okay. So again, if you're going to be mining or drilling or exploring, you got to have access, ingress and egress. You got to have access to that land. Okay. So to do that, the seller are they waiving the right to just walk on it whenever they want, or are they not waiving the right? Okay. So those are the two things that you're choosing here. Is the seller retaining all of their minerals or a portion? And are they or are they not giving up their rights to be able to access that land? Okay. Hopefully that helps. Thank you and see you next time.